Hello my friends, today the title of horror story is The Eyes in the Dark. Deep in the Amazon jungle, a place untouched by civilization, lies the cursed Umbra Valley, a shadowed expanse that even the locals refuse to speak of. Tales of the valley describe it as a living, breathing entity that consumes anyone who dares to enter. Despite the warnings, a group of 5 explorers set out, lured by rumors of an ancient, hidden temple said to contain unimaginable treasures. The team consisted of Sarah, an archaeologist desperate to make her mark; Marcus, a thrill-seeker hungry for fame; Raj, the cautious botanist; Elena, a skeptic journalist; and Hector, their local guide, who reluctantly agreed to take them as close as he dared. By the second day in the jungle, the group noticed something strange. The deeper they went, the quieter the jungle became. Birds no longer sang, insects ceased their endless buzzing, and even the wind seemed to avoid the place. The oppressive silence made every step feel louder than it should have been. Hector stopped abruptly, his face pale. "This is as far as I go," he said. He handed them a map he had sketched, warning, "The jungle watches. You do not belong here." The group laughed nervously, dismissing his words as superstition. They pressed on. By the 4th day, the jungle began to change. The trees grew taller, their twisted roots forming labyrinthine patterns that seemed to shift when no one was looking. The air was thick with a humid mist that clung to their skin, and shadows darted just beyond their vision. That night, as they set up camp, Sarah noticed strange carvings on the bark of a nearby tree. They were humanoid figures, etched with startling detail, their mouths open as if screaming. "Just ancient art," Marcus said, brushing it off. But Raj wasn't convinced. "These look fresh," he whispered. As the group slept, Sarah woke to the sound of soft weeping. She followed the sound, her flashlight cutting through the dense foliage. The weeping grew louder, but when she reached its source, there was no one there, only more carved figures on the trees, their screaming faces now eerily familiar. One of them looked like Hector. When she turned back to camp, she realized she was lost. By dawn, Sarah returned, disheveled and shaken. She refused to speak of what she saw, but her silence only deepened the unease among the group. That day, they found a massive clearing, and at its center stood the temple, a towering ancient structure covered in vines. "See, treasure awaits," Marcus exclaimed, charging forward. The others hesitated but followed reluctantly. Inside the temple, the air was icy cold despite the sweltering jungle outside. The walls were covered in the same carvings, now depicting figures being swallowed by the jungle, trees sprouting from their mouths, vines piercing their eyes. Then they heard it, a low, guttural growl that reverberated through the chamber. The ground beneath them trembled, and the carvings seemed to shift, their etched eyes following the group. "Run!" Raj screamed, but it was too late. The temple doors slammed shut, and the light of their flashlights began to dim unnaturally. One by one, they were separated. Marcus's screams were the first to echo through the halls, followed by a deafening silence. Elena vanished next, her flashlight found lying on the floor, the bulb shattered. When Sarah and Raj finally stumbled out of the temple, they were alone. The jungle seemed to have come alive, the trees twisting and groaning as if in anger. The carvings on the trees now depicted Marcus and Elena, their faces contorted in terror. As they fled, the whispers began, 1,000 voices murmuring in an ancient, indecipherable language. The jungle seemed to close in around them, branches clawing at their clothes, roots tripping their steps. When they finally broke through to the edge of the jungle, only Sarah emerged. Raj was gone, his last scream still echoing in her ears. Years later, Sarah sits alone in her apartment, haunted by the memories. Every plant in her home wilts and dies within days, and at night she dreams of the jungle, Sometimes, when she looks out her window, she swears she sees eyes staring back from the shadows. Watching, waiting. Thanks for coming on my video. Please like and subscribe my channel for more horror stories. Thank you for your love. Take care guys. Bye.